What is up, guys? It's your boy GRC. We're coming at you live every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern, crypto in the morning, with my co-host Sam STOLT. Producer Bullish Hawks is in the emergency room at this point, and he has some virus that is not good. Or something like that. So let's do biceps in the chat for Bullish. 100%. Guys, we have a lot to talk about today. And I love getting into the more mainstream topics. You find that they have a little more solid nature to them than you'd think sometimes. And I'm not talking about mainstream media, but I'm like, watch Vitalik, watch Sam Bankman, and watch these other guys get into mainstream media a little bit. Really interesting what kind of comes out, because it's like you can never predict. And we got Sam Bankman talking to some guy that I'd frankly want to give a handshake to. Nice firm one, because he just asked the most fluid, detailed, awesome, genuine questions. And we're going to highlight one of them in particular so we don't have to watch a giant video. And someone did a nice little edit for us, so me and Sam can just take it to the bank. And Sam also wants to touch on, we're going to talk a little bit about DOGECHAin. GymRatCrypto is launching on DOGECHAin. I think yesterday, Jack said, I think I might launch on DOGECHAin. Okay, well, DOGECHAin launched 5 hours. Actually, I don't know the exact hour count, but it was 21 hours last night, so I'm assuming it's like afternoonish, probably like 4:30. So Zen launch on DOGECHAin. I'm looking at DOGECHAin, but it hasn't flickered anything crazy. But Elon Musk is cooking like Chef Curry right now. And one person that knows a lot about Elon Musk, a lot more than me, is Sam STOLT. Sam STOLT studied Tesla and Elon Musk for like a decade while, he did a bunch of stuff, but like hardcore. So he has insight on the man. Remember, it's kind of like a flip-flop. Remember, but you were trying to understand Hex, but you were like, I don't really get this guy. And I was like, oh, I've learned about this guy. I know all his stuff. And now it's like, oh, I know Elon's explosive. I know but I don't know him. Like, I just haven't looked into it that much, frankly. I see his funny tweets. I think they're great. But so we're talking DOGECHAin, Elon, crypto, DeFi, Richard Hart, Jack LeVin. It's getting crazy up in DeFi land. Some guys are coming to play, Sam. I'm telling you, bro. It's cool to watch. It's cool to watch the attack of the nerds, we'll call it. Anyway, that DOGECHAin, Zen. We're going to talk about Elon. That's what give me a thumbs up, Sam. Is that what you were trying to mention? You said you had a little article or something on on Elon. So we're going to be talking Elon Musk with a pro. Crypto in the Morning live every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern, guys. I have a tweet. I'm dropping it. No producer in the house, so the monologue can go as long as my dopamine reserves can last. All right, hold on. I'm scrolling down. I want you to retweet this tweet. If you enjoy this show, if you like to party, I want you to retweet this tweet. And thanks for that. That would be awesome. Twitter is awesome. My subscriber count is going up a lot. And I think Twitter has been cool lately, and everyone's calming down, feeling like there might be a pump coming. Crypto in the Morning, DeFi proof.
You already know what time it is.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phone.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phone.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Smoking a blunt on my way to the gym. 11 a.m. and I'm already tuned in. Got me some hex and I'm making a stake. Got me some heads on, I'm making it rain. Pay me some maxi and that's just in case. GymRat sent me to show you the way.
DeFi proof.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phone.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phone.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
DOGECHAIN. This is going to be interesting.
Doge.
If you guys are not aware, you can already go purchase things with Doge. Can you do that with your Hex? Can you do that with other things? Well, Doge, I can go to Tesla store and I can use my Dogecoin, if I had any Dogecoin, to buy shit from Tesla, if you're not aware of that. And Elon Musk is actually a big fan.
I was not aware of that. Is that for real?
It is for real. Yes, this is for real.
Is that for real?
That happened probably like 8, 10. No, this happened last year at some point. So this has been
So you're
over a
saying
year.
that I could buy $100,000 car with Dogecoin?
You can't buy the car, but you can buy stuff from their merch store with Doge.
Do a lot of people use their merch store?
There's a lot of merch in there, so I would assume that people do buy from it, yes. And they have a lot of cachet around their name, right?
Why can't we buy the car?
They will probably implement that at some point, but they're not even at that point with keeping up with demand. They can't even keep up with demand for their vehicles.
I can only imagine. That's the truth. From what I notice in the world, that seems like that would be of the truth. So, Sam, let's just get into this 10 minutes so we can crank it out and I need you to be locked in, and I want you to tell me to stop if you're really agreeing or disagreeing, or because again, I want to be unbiased about this, but these guys are clearly on the most direct opposite sides, and they're both relatively friendly. So, sometimes they can just be a little bit, but Sam, I want your critical thinking, like in a true world. I want to talk about centralized and decentralized. I don't care about all the feelings, bro. I don't give a shit. I want money. I want my freedom. I want my time. I'm willing to get it. I don't need anyone's help anyway. So I want unbiased thought on this, because I'm not afraid to say, like, if Richard Hart bought a centralized exchange, yeah, I would use the shit out of it, probably. And everyone that says they wouldn't is a lying piece of crap. And I'm so sick of the narratives, right? I'm so sick of these narratives, these biases. It's disgusting to me, frankly. Oh, we don't like centralized. Oh, we're freedom fighters. Oh, just kidding. No, we're not. We just do whatever this one dude says. And I love the product and I love all that stuff, but I got shit to do. And I want to look at this video, but I want to make sure this video is not too biased too. But this guy's really smooth and I enjoyed it. It's a great conversation. So let's get straight into it. I'm going to pull it up.
Have created essentially a new financial.
This is the Doge. What is it? Crypto is about to explode. Here's why. Do you want to give us a little bit of context on this? And then later on, guys, we have some interesting tweets from Elon Musk. If you're big onto Twitter, which a lot of the people in crypto are big on Twitter, there will probably be, and this is conjecture because this is going to be my first time I'm reading through it when we pull it up later. Elon is going to make it so that you can monetize your Twitter, so that when ads are shown next to your thing or before or after it, I would assume that's how some of them are, you can earn. Think about this from the standpoint of
I'm
crypto.
pretty sure you can already earn if you're verified.
Yeah, but what about everybody? Why not just having everybody?
Yeah, I think the whole verified thing is getting like completely diluted to the point where someone who's in leadership just needs to make it work right. Like, just make people just do it right. Like, you can make money on it if you do it really good, and just make it like that, like everything else. At some point, right? Like, I would love to monetize my Twitter, I guess.
And what if you can get paid in crypto?
That would be absolutely dope.
In Doge.
Well, I'll take anything.
I'll take
I'll
crypto.
only get paid Pulse Doge for all my e-commerce for the rest of my life. You have to convert through Pulse Dogecoin.
You have to swap through. You have to.
What if we talk to Elon about getting PP token in there for like?
What if we actually get Elon on the show at some point?
We will, because Jack's already close to the man. I'm sure synergy will come quick.
I agree.
And a lot of these people don't mind doing a wonderful interview with unbiased, like, for real. But they just know that's not the case for most of it. So, guys, this is actually a chopped up video from Altcoin Daily. I guess I'm subbing to them now and hitting the all button. Do that for my channel too, guys. And make sure you go over here and smash the like button. This guy gets a like smash from me. Okay, so this guy, I don't know who he is. You tell me who he is. I don't care. He's the GOAT. And no, but he is about DeFi, Sam. So this guy is DeFi. And CFi would be Bankman, who he's talking to in this interview here. and this is a chopped up one. And just let's play it. They're talking about centralization versus decentralization, open-minded conversation about, and they just come to some interesting points in the combo. So let's play it.
We, those of us in this ecosystem, this industry, have created essentially a new financial foundation for the whole world.
Yes.
This is a huge responsibility. And the entire purpose of this financial foundation is that all of humanity can use an open, immutable financial layer. We are separating money from politics. We are separating money from the state. And in the same way that the church was separated from the state, and everyone now hails that as one of the greatest things that humanity ever did, we now too, it comes to us to do the same for money. Money is as or more important to people than religion is. We interact with it every day in all sorts of manners. And just as mathematics or language are immutable and open to the entire human race, so too should the exchange and management of money. That is the principle that makes this entire ecosystem important. That is the principle that justifies everything that we do. And if we lose that, it will be something that we regret for the rest of our lives because we had that opportunity.
Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily. You subscribe for daily videos, keeping you informed on the entire crypto. Before we get into the big news of the day, let me play you one more clip where Eric Voorhees really catches Sam Bankman-Fried. You know that Sam Bankman-Fried just put out a report that kind of...
You're muted. This is a good clip. I've seen it.
Bankman's starting to sketch me out. Look at his head.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, what is he like? Is he trying to be like overly bogus? Like, it's like, but it's funny. I think the dude's a beast. Like, clearly, like he's a G with it. But like, it's so funny. Like, I mean, this is probably just how he's like, and like the easiest way for him to be. But like, it's funny to actually know people are like this that are super dominant and successful in their fields. It's like hilarious.
So before we get into this clip here, owning the portal to crypto, you have an incentive to control regulations, right? So Sam Bankman owns FTX and he has an incentive to control the doorway, right? Because he can earn a VIG from that. He can earn fees through this.
But how scummy do you have to get in order to take over, Sam? That's my question to you. And when I say scummy, I don't mean it in like a derogatory term. I mean, like, how many backdoor deals that people don't know about do you have to do to get to the top of that?
I mean, he is a vegan, so.
Dude, he's more than a vegan, bro. He's a Biden. Like, dude, he's the worst. Like, everything you read about the guy, he's like affiliated with the worst of the worst. And when I say that, it's like for me, like the worst of the worst for me. And I'm just like, oh God, again, he sucks. Okay, everything I read about him, I'm like, this is their puppet. Like, they found the perfect guy. He won't stand up to them, but he will work restlessly, tirelessly. Clearly, he doesn't work on himself too often.
Yep, donating to Biden. Yes. So
yeah, dude, he'll donate anything to get these people on his side, and he's banking on that.
Let's check these boxes, right? First of all, he's a Biden supporter, right? Second of all, he's a vegan. Third, he owns a centralized exchange and is advocating for ridiculous regulations in crypto, right? Like you just struck out, bro. Like, I think that if there's something that they
if the Democrats lose, this dude will lose.
No, because then he's going to try to use DeFi to use his money to.
I don't think that any Republican will even talk to this guy. Just kidding, but like he's so far on the other side already. Then his personal image gets like totally like, dude, he's clearly doubling down and just being like, fuck. Like I doubt he gives a shit, but like he's doubling down on his like decision. Like he probably cares a little bit, like everyone, but like you can only focus on so much. Anyway, guy on the right looks like a nice guy, someone you grab a drink with, go throw the pigskin, and
dude on the left.
It looks like he could rob you or like just play video games all day. Like you wouldn't be able to tell. So let's go.
It went against the ethos of crypto, against permissionlessness, against decentralization. Eric Voorhees is for decentralization, for permissionlessness. Eric makes Sam Bankman-Fried espouse the virtues of why email is better without every email being KYC'd. And then he asks, why is it any different with Aave? Listen to this.
If that did mean that, like, essentially a suit front ends by Americans targeting American retail had to be licensed, I think that could be reasonable.
If the question was, let's acknowledge that the email protocol will be permissionless as a protocol.
Yep.
But it was the law of the land in America that every email front-end provider required KYC from its users.
Yep.
Because under the justification that we do not want people sending information back and forth with terrorists.
Yep.
Where would you stand on that position?
Oh, I'd be strongly against that position.
Why?
Why would I be against it? Because I think that
Let him finish.
I will, but just eye contact. Focus on his eyes.
I think it'd be like against freedom of speech. I think it'd be disenfranchising a lot of people. I think I would not trust in practice that it would do a good job. So I agree with you on all of that.
Okay.
I'm making a distinction here between, for instance, payments versus like derivatives contracts.
Why is Aave somehow different than email?
So, why is it different than email?
You argued so well and so passionately
Yeah.
to not block email with
Yes.
licensing and KYC. I loved hearing that.
Yep.
That filled my soul with joy. Such
Yeah.
good arguments. Why
Yeah.
does that not apply to financial transactions?
So, why does it not apply to
Zero eye
financial
contact.
transactions? I think there are a few things here.
So we're gonna play that back one more time, just so because we'll probably never see it again. And that guy had a really good statement and it was a really good comment. We're just gonna play it back one more time. Focus on his eyes, guys. I did a lot of sales, like door to like literally like it wasn't direct sales, but I talked to a lot of different people every single day for a long time. You can tell a lot about a guy, and my advice to him: audio only, bro. Do audio only so you don't totally expose yourself with your horrible body language. But but anyway, let's one more time that. That was just really good shit.
The world. Hey, let me play you one more clip where Eric Voorhees really catches Sam Bankman-Fried. You know that Sam Bankman-Fried just put out a report that kind of went against the ethos of crypto, against permissionlessness, against decentralization. Eric Voorhees is for decentralization, for permissionlessness. Eric makes Sam Bankman-Fried espouse the virtues of why email is better without every email being KYC'd. And then he asks, why is it any different with Aave? Listen to this.
If that did mean that, like, essentially a suit front ends by Americans targeting American retail had to be licensed, I think that could be reasonable.
If the question was, let's acknowledge that the email protocol will be permissionless as a protocol.
Yep.
But it was the law of the land in America that every email front-end provider required KYC from its users.
Yep.
Because under the justification that we do not want people sending information back and forth with terrorists.
Yep.
Where would you
So-
stand on that position?
Oh, I'd be strongly against that position.
Why?
Why would I be against it? Because I think it'd be like against freedom of speech. I think it'd be disenfranchising a lot of people. I think I would not trust in practice that it would do a good job. So I agree with you on all of that.
Okay.
I'm making a distinction here between, for instance, payments versus like derivatives contracts.
Why is Aave somehow different than email?
So, why is it different than email?
You argued so well and so passionately
Yeah.
to not block email with
Yes.
licensing and KYC. I loved hearing that.
Yep.
That filled my soul with joy. Such
Yeah.
good arguments. Why
Yeah.
does that not apply to financial transactions?
So, why does it not apply to financial transactions? I think there are a few things here. So, first of all,
The world needs trade. Of course, the biggest news of the past couple days regarding Twitter, regarding
be good.
crypto, is that Elon Musk has bought Twitter. He has had his first day as chief twit. Cryptocurrency and Twitter have never been more aligned now that Elon Musk is at the helm. By all accounts, there's a good chance he does incorporate Dogecoin into Twitter. Binance did go in on the initial deal. So I guess Binance is a partial owner of Twitter. Binance wants to team up with Musk to integrate crypto to Twitter. Binance is setting up a unit dedicated to helping Twitter with its crypto projects, including fighting bots. And everybody's talking about it. Elon Musk is talking about it. People are talking about Elon Musk talking about it. People are talking about Dogecoin pumping. Charles Hoskinson says that Dogecoin should be a side chain on Cardano. I'd do the migration for free, he says. Hell, I'd even add smart contracts. Visa.
So, Sam, this is a good video. We're going to talk about all our points, but they have a couple 2-minute bangers in here. And I mean, they really do align with exactly what we're talking about. So let's just play like 6 more minutes of these, and then we'll have like all like the base information for the rest of our conversation here. Guys, if you're in here, go ahead and smash the like button. And if you really do enjoy the show, please retweet and let everyone know. Sam, you should do a tweet saying, I'm talking about Elon Musk and DOGECHAin, and I bet you'll be getting some pumpage on that.
I wanted to say about the Sam Bankman thing.
Yeah, let's talk about that, and then I'll go right back to this.
So Sam Bankman, right? You and I having a conversation. You ask me a question. I'm looking at the camera, talking to you, and then you're like, "Okay, cool, that's awesome, Sam. I agree with what you're saying there." So how is that different from something else? And then he's immediately like, he doesn't want to even look at.
Because he's so smart, he computed that question 5 seconds, like half a second. He's like, "Damn it, stupid me." All the little demons in his head were talking to him. All the nerd demons were talking to his ass, and he was like, "Dude, like if you're gonna bluff someone, like bluff them on audio, bro. Like you clearly are not that guy. You know what I mean? Like." Some dudes, you like get it. Like they're not, even if they're lying, like they're not going to make it. You're not going to tell. That's probably the better way to be if you're going to be fighting for centralized ownership, in my opinion. Says Sammy boy. Hire your boy GRC. I'll go full fucking FTX and just migrate Hex in. So everyone loves me or something. Like you can, as long as you provide people with money, like it's all good.
That was a interesting take. I don't know if it deserves an entire listen to that whole podcast. Maybe to see
in your own time. If you're mowing the lawn,
correct. Not now. Yes,
it's correct. A lawnmower. It's a lawnmower situation. If you mow your lawn. So we're gonna play a couple more clips of this. We're talking Elon. We're talking DOGECHAin. We're talking Zen. We're talking Hex. We're getting involved, guys. Do we want Hex to be excluded from all of this stuff? I really don't. I would like if it was included, but maybe I don't know what everyone else would want, so it's not really up to me. But like, again, I like inclusion, more people, more honesty, more transparency for what it's worth in the space. Let's go back to this. This is a great video to make our lives easier.
Files trademark application covering a range of cryptocurrency products, including a crypto wallet. Every day on this channel, we show you the steps that different people, companies are integrating. Cryptocurrency is the future. Payment giant Visa has filed 2 trademark applications covering a wide range of cryptocurrency products and services, including its own crypto wallet. The filings also mention crypto transaction management and NFTs. This is the trademark in question. This is such a good time to get into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I'm not saying it's the exact bottom, but I'm just saying relative to 2021, now, today, the end of this year, next year, such a good time. The amount of Bitcoin on exchanges just keeps dropping. Very important Bitcoin chart. The amount of Bitcoin transferred on chain continues to grow year over year. 2022 has already far exceeded 2021 with 2 months still left in 2022.
Wow, that's an interesting take right there. People are moving away from
Dude, it lagged for the first time when you started talking that was the craziest thing.
That was a perfect transition.
I was like, I gotta mute it, and then I was like, why isn't it going?
I was just using my superhuman God mode.
Please fill me in on what you were about to say. I'm listening. I get it. I don't think about Bitcoin too much, but you know enough about this stuff, finance, where you're like, what is he trying to say there? And I will rewind it just like a minute or two.
Go back 20 seconds. Go back 20 seconds here, and then we'll play this again, and then we'll talk about this real quick because this is fascinating. Pay attention. About 20 seconds.
It really is. If what he's saying, because I can kind of put together what he's trying to say, but I just haven't seen the numbers enough.
This is such a good time to get into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I'm not saying it's the exact bottom, but I'm just saying relative to 2021, now, today, the end of this year, next year, such a good time. The amount of Bitcoin on exchanges just keeps dropping. Very important Bitcoin chart. The amount of Bitcoin transferred on chain continues to grow year over year. 2022 has already far exceeded 2021 with 2 months still left in 2022. So historically,
so pause that for a second.
We are about 5 or 6 months away.
So what they're saying, right? Initially, for you to get into crypto, from BTC standpoint, you would use a centralized exchange. You kind of poked fun at it as being the centralized exchange traded token, right? As that's what it is. And yet we continue to see a decline in the trading. It's a increase in the activity of BTC on chain versus centralized exchanges. So this shift is happening. There's no way somebody like Sam Bankman or anybody stopping this shift. This is a global shift where you have everybody in crypto is going in one direction, and one little diddly squat fellow is not going to stop this. Not going to stop this. Even if you think like, Biden person is going to do something like, and you just have to say Biden person because I don't know how much like stuff is going on up here, right? But like this is not stopping. This trend where more and more of these transactions are going to be on chain will continue. And the decentralization and permissionlessness to get into crypto and to transact into crypto. This is fascinating stuff because all of this is going to be permissionless in the future.
I hope so, because I need it to be. I cannot have them jacking up my trades like ETHW's jacked me up for a day and a half. If that happened to me with a large amount of money, I'd have been pissed, but it didn't. So I didn't care at all. But like I cared about intellectually, I cared because I'm like, I got other shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I've got other computers, other ideas. And I'm like, one of these gets jammed up and it jams me up. I don't like being jammed up because I don't like putting that much more US dollar in if I don't have to. And I do on occasion, trust me. Like you get to that point sometimes where you're like, yeah, I got to speculate again. But like for real, something pumps 100, 200%. Like you can take a little off of that and move it to whatever, but that's not the point. I got jammed up on ETHW yesterday. Some funny stuff going on over on ETHW. Anyone trying to move their ETHW, if you've been able to do that extremely smoothly, if you've been moving ETHW chain to chain very smoothly in the last 24 hours, I would like to know how you did that and on what website. Because my transactions, I heard FTX is all right, but I've never used it. So I haven't gone there yet. I like to try to figure it out with what I got. And yeah, so it's MEXC worked. I didn't like the amount of time it took to work because the transactions per like confirmation went to 1,500 rather than 100 and on MEXC. So, but it still went through.
So if you guys have anything, sources that you've been using for ETHW, let us know in the chat. On the centralized exchange thing, there becomes a point, right? If you think about centralized exchange as the pinprick that is like it was just a tiny little pinprick, and that's letting air out of a balloon, you can say, or a tire, right? Your tire has a tiny little leak. Well, what you can think of is the air inside of the tire is legacy finance that wants to get out, right? And it has one little pinprick. But now there's lots of little pinpricks. And legacy is draining from all these tiny little pinpricks. Well, do you know what happens over time? Well, first of all, the tire goes completely flat. That's legacy dying. And then all of the money, all the transactions are happening outside of the tire, outside of legacy, right? So very shortly, whether that's in 12 months or more likely 60 months, centralized exchanges are going to be going away to a great extent, because they're just going to be the portal back and forth where nobody's going to keep money there for any effing reason. Like, why would anybody? Because we understand this, but not everybody in crypto understands this yet.
Good morning, Crypto Compassion. How are you doing? I wanted to point out this chart really quick. Like, you know how people think like we're definitely going up forever and shit?
Yep.
Look how long the stretches are between peak to peak. So, I mean, let's be real for a second. Like, peak to peak,
2013 to 2017.
and that's the first one. And then what about the second one?
2017 to 2021. But the peak is just not that much higher.
Right, but still, I'm going to call that
another 4 years.
Yeah, I'm going to call it, and it could be accelerated or decelerated, but like, it's important to note that. And that's why it's important to note, like, people are excited about what Ethereum's bringing to the space. So this is like normal, like, already really lots of money in it gains now. And I think that peak is the same as the other ones as far as like what it should be. Like, it's just less explosive. There's just cut off the top. There's not enough random god wicks. Like, but look at the double top on that.
Look at this from 2013, right? So the cycle top, right, November 30th. So there's a couple interesting things that I'm looking at this chart and noticing. First of all, let's take a look at all the peaks, right? November 30th, December 17th, November 10th. They're all in the last month or two of the year. Is that meaningful? Is it not meaningful? I don't know. Could be interesting bit of information. That was one of the things I noticed. Another thing that I noticed, the top to the bottom on each one of these has been just over a year, right? 81 weeks, 68 weeks, 75 weeks, right? Well, that's an average between those two, right? 75 is where they estimate it could be at this point. Maybe early next year or something like that when the change starts to happen. But this is interesting. This is an interesting chart. I've seen this chart before, but I've never actually taken the time to look into that. Let's get back into the video.
Yeah, I think it's a great chart, and I think we got some time, guys. So, I mean, things can happen quick, slow. Every cycle is a little different, but I think they'll happen quicker, but they'll be less explosive in a way, if you know what I'm saying. Like, quicker but less steam on Bitcoin. Like, less steam overall up. Like, I wonder what the S&P kind of looks like, but I don't. We'll just get into the video. We can talk. We could bring up anything after. So. And we are the last 20 minutes, Sam. I'm going to talk about DOGECHAIN launch on Zen and just make sure we can move through that. And then
yep. And I have a couple of things on Elon to pull up.
Perfect. Let's play this out.
Way from breaking into a macro bullish pivot. Even if you think we will go lower, and nobody knows for sure, to accumulate at least partially for the long term at these levels is a good idea. What do you think? Ethereum is becoming a scarce asset, a productive asset people are starting to notice. ETH layer 2s are exploding. ETH layer 3s are just beginning. ZK Sync and ETH layer 2. Dev plans to launch layer 3 scaling solution called Opportunity in Q1 of next year. Matter Labs, the team behind ETH layer 2 scaling protocol ZK Sync, revealed the developers' plans to launch a layer 3 proof of concept called Opportunity in the first quarter of next year. The team says that the prototype of L3 will be built on top of L2, and developers and ZK Sync users can research and experiment with it. Different cryptocurrency protocols doing big things. The other day, Algorand processed over 2.3 million transactions, and it has the current bandwidth to do 240x more. In the last 7 days, Algorand has added over 800,000 plus new addresses, now sitting at over 28 million addresses. Algorand TVL also hit another all-time high at 300 plus million. And don't forget, their 30-day World Cup FIFA sponsorship kicks off in 3 weeks. My friends, I'm going to leave a link to this in the description. I need you to vote. Vote for your favorite cryptocurrency influencers and vote Altcoin Daily Best News Source and Influencer of the Year Blockchain Influencer Awards. I'll leave a link in the description. We won both of these things last year. Like to win it again this year with your help. Vote below. Cryptocurrency is the future. The world needs cryptocurrency. So many people, individuals, entities, companies getting into crypto, developing a crypto strategy, have a cryptocurrency strategy. I'll leave you with this. In case you missed it, Walmart's global chief tech officer has declared that crypto will become an important part about how we shop in the future. Walmart outlines its cryptocurrency strategy here. Subscribe to the channel. See you tomorrow.
What's the role of crypto in Walmart's future?
It's a great question. I think that there are three major areas of disruption. Crypto falls in sort of the middle of it. I have talked before about the way in which customers are getting inspired and discovering products. That is changing. And part of that is going to happen in the metaverse. Part of that is going to happen on live streams inside your social media app. So whether it is physical goods or virtual goods, they play a part in terms of what the customer wants. Crypto will become an important part of how customers transact. We want to make sure that we make it as friction-free for customers to be able to transact and to be able to buy, and how they are able to derive value out of it.
I like this dude's channel, Altcoin Daily. It's got some good stuff.
It's solid for news, man. I don't watch it enough, but I probably should.
Yeah, he's got some good stuff. All right, let's pull up what's going on with Twitter. But to give it a little bit of a preview, I want to touch on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. When you look at Instagram, they're just now starting to give tiny little bits of monetization to users. TikTok also has tiny itty bits of amounts of money that you can be made. I think in
you
the
can
best,
make it, dude. Don't get it twisted. If you do it in a certain way, like TikTok always does it,
but not from the platform.
100% locked in and active at whatever new, like, because I remember there was live stream battles for a while. People were making thousands, and then that went away. And then it's like, so they do these a lot of different like revenue.
I had 5 million views plus in my biggest month on TikTok, and I made about $200. The money wasn't,
but it wasn't in the views. Yeah, it wasn't in the views.
Correct. And one thing that is different and has been different about YouTube is that they do a revenue split with creators. The BS meters of people today in terms of understanding the value that they're bringing, the bringing is the data, whether that be in terms of the content or just in terms of like user XYZ, they're bringing data, and consumers are waking up to this, that these companies need to evolve or the consumers will shift. Well, Elon Musk understands this, and he came out with this on Twitter the other day related to actually monetizing your Twitter account.
Zoomy poo on that.
Zoomy poo. Zoom. So let's go through and read what he tweeted.
I'd like to read it because I never read this
Go ahead.
stuff. All right, let me pull up full screen on mine. You're good. All right. I've wanted to reach out personally to share my motivation in acquiring Twitter. This is Elon Musk. There has been much speculation about why I bought Twitter and what I think about advertising. Most of it has been wrong. I believe that to be probably true. The reason I acquired Twitter is because it is important for the future of civilization to have a common digital town square where a wide range of beliefs can be debated in a healthy manner without resorting to violence. That's true. That violence, there is no real violence. So there is currently a great danger that social media will splinter into far right wing and far left wing echo chambers that generate more hate and divide in our society. In the relentless pursuit of clicks, much of traditional media has fueled and catered to those polarized extremes as they believe that is what brings in the money. But in doing so, the opportunity for dialogue is lost and it gets diluted very quickly. That is why I bought Twitter. I didn't do it because it would be easy. I didn't do it to make more money. I did it to try to help humanity whom I love. And I do so with humility. Recognizing that failure is in pursuing this goal despite our best efforts is very real possibility. That said, Twitter obviously cannot become a free-for-all hellscape where anything can be said with no consequence. In addition, adhering to the laws of the land, our platform must be warm and welcoming to all, where you decide your desired experience according to your preferences, just as you can choose, for example, to see movies or play video games ranging from all ages to mature. I also very much believe that advertising, when done right, can delight, entertain, and inform you. It can show you a service or product or medical treatment that you never knew existed, but is right for you. For this to be true, it is essentially to show Twitter users advertising that is as relevant as possible to their needs. That would be incredible. Low relevancy ads are spam. I hate spam ads. I hate everything spam ads, everything. Instagram's ruined. Everything's ruined. Spam. But highly relevant ads are actually content. Yes. Imagine an amazing commercial that would tell you everything about the product you love for you. I don't even know if that exists anymore.
Or think about watching, sometimes if you watch a YouTube content or you listen to a podcast or something, and you're learning as it goes through, and then he launches or she launches right into the pitch for whatever it is that they're selling and or associated with or affiliated with. And you don't even realize it because it is so relevant to what the dude is talking about that solves that problem. That type of selling, that type of thing is not spam, because it's just like, oh, that's super helpful. I don't know how many times I've written down what something was talking about in an ad that is really relevant in a podcast format, because I was like, oh, that's an interesting service or business.
Podcast ads are lit.
Yeah, that I'd like to actually check out. Yes, I agree.
Because they're always like, nobody wants to sell their soul to the devil if they have a great podcast. They want it to be like
good.
Something so fundamentally, Twitter aspires to be more respected advertising platform in the world that strengthens your brand and grows your enterprise. To everyone who has partnered with us, I thank you. Let us build something extraordinary together. Drop the link to that tweet so all the Hexicans can retweet it.
This is a good one, right? This is definitely a good one.
Incredible.
So you guys could check this out. I just put it into the chat here. We'll put it up on the screen in a second, so you guys can check it out.
Go over to Elon Musk, hit him up, say what's Gucci Gooch.
So there's another interesting thing. So the completion of purchasing Twitter just happened, and Elon walks into Twitter headquarters like this. Entering Twitter headquarters, let that sink in. And he's carrying a sink. Let it sink in. Like, what a fucking he does things like this on a regular basis, and this is one of the reasons why I really enjoy like listening to his conference calls or other stuff. There was one point 3 or 4 years ago where somebody in the financial world was asking questions that just weren't relevant to like what Tesla was doing. And so he's like, okay, cool, let's go to somebody else because what you're asking is just stupid, or basically like called the guy a fucking idiot. And there's tons of people listening, and then it's reported all in the news that he just called this person a fucking idiot. And what he's saying is, and I appreciate the authenticity that comes with the gall to do things like that and just call people out on what is actually going on. I think that with his purchase of Twitter, I've always thought of Twitter as kind of like the shithole of social media where you just have degenerate people. And that's why I never really got onto Twitter up until like this year, basically. And with the ownership change, I think that we're going to see a massive change in Twitter where, right, Facebook dominated, Instagram dominated, TikTok. And we might see this change over the next couple of years where Twitter becomes substantially better than it already is. What's up, A-Bit?
That would be amazing if that were to be the truth, because I like Twitter. I like being able to share my ideas. And let's real quick, guys, we got 10-15 minutes left. I want to talk. Jack Levin. He's been on the show probably 6-7 times now. We're going to be doing a Twitter space here shortly with Sam and Jack. And we got a little Halloween party here. Spread the word if you're into Zen free mint. That's pretty funny. I want to look if he wrote anything on the Doge. Oh, here he is. Zen is coming to DOGECHAIN. This was 18 hours ago. Watch out. Countdown is live. If you love the new Dogecoin ecosystem, retweet. Now, I'm not going to retweet because I don't want to say that I love Dogecoin because I don't know much about it. But this was 18 hours ago, and it says live in 21 hours and 20 minutes, guys. 21 hours and 20 minutes. So that's 3 hours and 26 minutes from right now. So we are going to pay attention if we love Zen. But again, you know me with the Zen. Everyone wants to say that I'm in Zen all day, so I'm basically making it a point not to be in Zen all day. Literally, so I can be like, I still have more Zen than you, and what happened?
I don't know enough about
DOGECHAIN?
DOGECHAIN. Yeah.
It's new, Sam. It's the layer 1 where they use Dogecoin as the currency. It's a new layer 1 because Dogecoin was on it. Now you just bridge it over there and like it has a different kind of spec on it. But like it's probably a little lower value right now, but probably has speculatively higher value, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
Like it's like a little trade-off there. But I mean, I don't have any Dogecoin myself, nor have I ever gone on to the DOGECHAIN. But do you guys want to know how? I can teach you without knowing because my fingers are all working. So we go to here. Look at this. DOGECHAIN. First thing they say, giving away a Tesla. So DOGECHAIN is giving away a Tesla. And you know GymRat is trying to get his hands on a Tesla. So that's critical. I don't know if it's a buy or rent, but it's a Tesla. So let's look. DOGECHAIN superpowers Doge to bring crypto applications like DeFi, GameFi, and NFTs to the Dogecoin community. So Dogecoin is like, hey, we don't really have any versatility. Like, what's going on here? We got all this liquidity, right? We have all these buys and sells. We have all this trading volume. We have all this meme speculative power. But how do we harness it? Create a layer 1 and give away a Tesla? Potentially. If you guys want to see a recording where they project Spotlight, there you go. You go to the DOGECHAIN Twitter, and I will link that right here. Whoops. Is it a layer 2 or a layer 1?
I thought it was a layer
1.
But maybe it's
layer
built on
1.
something
No,
else.
it's a layer 1. It's on Deck Screener as a layer 1.
I'm on Desk Screener right now. I'm not sure how to tell. It's trading on.
Just go. You know how it says ETHPAL, ETHFair, Binance, everything on the side? Just scroll up and down and see if DOGECHAIN is on there.
Okay. DOGECHAIN.
Maybe at the bottom or like in the middle.
DOGECHAIN. Yeah, it is. It's got its own tab here.
Yeah, it's a layer 1.
But it's like Arbitrum, I think, and Optimism are both, they're.
Yeah, it's like a layer, again, layer 2, layer. Yeah, I guess you're right because they don't have the native. How does that work?
Because it's those, I think Optimism and Arbitrum are both built on top of Ethereum as layer 2s, even though they're acting as kind of like layer 1s.
So they use the real Dogecoin for gas. So it is kind of more like a layer 2.
What is there
layer 1, layer 2? Like it's.
I'd be interested to learn more. I'd be interested to learn more about what this actually is. Like what is DOGECHAIN? How does it work? What's the purpose of it?
Why don't we pull up the official website?
And let's understand that.
I'm on the official website right now. Let me click over.
Because
cool website.
Could be something that's very interesting.
Well, Jack said to keep an eye on it, and Jack's not. He don't throw his willy at everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was like, right when he said that, I was kind of like, oh, let me look at this shit. Because he also told me to buy ETH, which was interesting. Which I love. I mean, like ETH is doing wild things right now. Wow. So let's look. Layer 2 for Dogecoin. Okay, so thank you for that. Layer 2 for Dogecoin. Wow. Finally, new things to do with our Dogecoin. DOGECHAIN, NFTs, games, and DeFi for Dogecoin users. We love DeFi. Built by Dogecoin holders for Dogecoin holders. This can be a liquidity providing mini mine. Who knows? What is DOGEChain? DOGEChain supercharges Dogecoin to bring crypto applications like NFTs, games, and DeFi to Dogecoin community. Unfortunately, Dogecoin cannot support any of these applications or any other dApps. DOGEChain fixes this. With DOGEChain, Dogecoin holders can do more than simply hodl and wait for Dogecoin to move. Yes, that's exactly what people do. So, oh my God, Dogecoin used as gas. DOGEChain users can use Dogecoin for gas fees. DOGEChain brings utility to Dogecoin users tired of simply holding Dogecoin. So, pretty cool stuff.
Very, very interesting how this is going to play out.
And we'll go to the cross-chain bridge and see if, I don't like that bridge already. Their bridge is only for Dogecoin to DOGEChain in.
Yeah. And I don't know if there's going to be any way at the moment.
Well, I don't know. I'm sure some of these exchanges have picked it up yesterday, Sam. I'm going to be all over that today, so I'll let you know that.
It did have a sell-off, which is expected, right? It's almost
it went nuclear.
It went nuclear and then had a big sell-off.
It went nuclear, though. Do you see what I'm saying, Sam? Like, it's like, yeah, maybe that went 120% because of the news and stuff. But like, dude, like Hex did like a 3 penny to 5. Like ETH been blowing, Bitcoin's holding strong over 20K. Like, I don't want anyone to feel like they're missing out on something. That would be the wrong way to feel at this point in the market. Like, it's not. It's just wait, little speculation, pay attention, learn time. If you're not a heavy-handed investor, but if you have a lot of money, like it's definitely a time to think about long-term. But short-term gains, like it's too volatile, bro. Like,
but then again, like this is brand new. Like DOGEChain just launched. I think it's trading on PancakeSwap. So like, it was up 100, 200%, and now it's down, 40% from where it launched at. But that's expected. That like is not something that's not uncommon, but like layer 2s like this that already have a built-in user base. I don't know if this can use the Doge narrative to garner users to bring in their coins. This could perform extremely well over the next year or so. We'll have to see how this actually plays out, and especially if you can start to bring in DeFi stuff where people can make money on this. You're still sharing your screen, by the way. You know that.
That's okay. I was to show people on how to do on Zen.
Okay. Connecting to your wallet, it says.
Yeah. So basically, all I have to show here is let's go to the Zen Dash here. So guys, on Zen.network, when you go here, we know we were the first ones to be covering this live. Ethereum drop. I was top 200. Let's get serious. And then GRC ran into some brain farts for like a month. and then ETH Pow came out and I was like, well, I have gas over here, so I'll do that one. But I watched all these other ones. I kind of paid attention to how everything was going. And then look at this. What's going on down here?
Are you gonna mint this?
Probably not. But I will learn how to mint it.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Like
how to get
I
over
might
there.
buy the native token like before I start minting Zen because I just got to get a feel. Like I don't care about being first. I mean, maybe you're talking me into it, Sam. I don't know. So let's we've talked a lot about Zen crypto on here. Jack Levin has been nothing but a treat to the space, nothing but a value add, in my opinion, to just to the average person in the space. I think he's bringing it value, and I think he's respectable, and I really appreciate a lot of his work, his timing, his work ethic. He's got big money. He's throwing it around. He's playing. He's trying to figure stuff out, and he is happy as a clam all the time. Every time I call him, he's working out. I'm like, bro, chill. I'm like, bro, I'm not even working out yet. Like, he's like, I got to get this in before I do my Twitter space. And then I do my 8 other interviews. And then I do, and I'm like, you're the GOAT. And I like guys like that. They motivate me. And they'll even every once in a while teach you something. Like, and you're just like, man, imagine someone that could actually teach you something substantial within moments because they have so much experience and so much good insight, and they talk to people. They're willing to talk to others. And you know me, I love that value there. So Zen Crypto guys on DOGECHAIN, 2 hours, 56 minutes, and 20 seconds. All the Hexicans that talk crap about Zen, it's generally just like a little bit of competition stuff, I think, for the most part. I don't like to hate on anyone, but the space is in a viral situation for some large groups of people. So me and Sam will like to get our hands in lots of cookie jars, and we'll do anything that has good speculative huge X's in gains, whether that's 10 years out, 1 year out, 1 day out. We'll think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll look there. I'll check things out. I'll speculate a few $100s. I'll figure out how to do it so I don't fall behind in the long run, because that is crypto. Like, if you didn't get into ETHW quick, Sam, and we got in quick, man, I made a hell of a ton of money on that. And I was bridging it out. But guess what now, Sam? A lot of those gains are harder to get a hold of now. Maybe not impossible, but me, you and Sam, me and you and Bullish did 30, 40 minutes and we were struggling. And that's rare. That's really rare yesterday. And I mean, I did get it done, but it took me kind of like a while just to figure out how to do it, like guaranteed. So I think it's important that everyone just stays sharp, stays strong. Emotional fitness, we talk about it all the time. Being emotionally fit is the most important and critical aspect of being a good investor and being a good person.
Oh yeah. For being a good investor and just being a good person, 1,000%. If you're not emotionally stable and you allow me or anybody, even if your wife or boyfriend or friends or parents, to control your emotions, if you're like, oh, they pissed me off or they frustrated me, then what you're effectively doing is giving the responsibility for how you feel to another person. Think about how fucking stupid that is. You need to be emotionally fit. If you
I see people all day long. Everything's a problem. Everything's an issue. Everything's, oh, how could this girl do this to me? Like, why me? Like, why me of all people? It's like, dude, shut the hell up and get busy, or no one's gonna like you anyway. So if you really want someone to, I know a lot of people, it's emotional, right? Like, it's more emotional than it is financial. Like, most people don't really think about the finances like to the nth degree, like maybe we do. But I think for a lot of people, the stick up is that they can't even get to the point where they're doing detailed, methodical work because they have so many emotions running through their head that they can't. How could you focus? I could not even imagine. Right. That's why people ask me all the time. They're like, "You're so butthurt about this." I'm like, I don't even know how to be butthurt, dude. I got to do the whole show. I got to do a bunch of shit. It's hard to be butthurt. like
that's a waste of time.
It's like, and then you feel like shit. You call your parents, you talk like shit like them because you're being a dick anyway. And it's just like, guys, I went to see my family yesterday, and there's some little new uncles and nieces and nephews. I posted some pictures on my Twitter. It really just made me feel a lot better and get me grounded. And I like to do that rather than maybe going out and drinking all night and getting all like, whatever. So I think that's the most important thing is friends, family, respect, trying to be a good person, and pushing as hard as you can in your life to make it the best life that you could possibly bring to this earth, and, or die trying, not in a physical, violent way, but just go at it, guys. Everyone punch hard. Don't, things happen, but just keep moving forward. If you're moving, you'll beat everyone because everyone stops moving. Sam, great talking to you today.
You too, brother. I will talk to you in a little bit.
Sam, real quick,
check out the links down below.
Thoughts on Hedron ATM, Sam? David needs it.
David, good afternoon. Great to see you. In a couple words, my thoughts on Hedron. I'm buying more this week.
Okay, your second maxi premium is only 8.4% at the moment. Sam, your take.
GRC and I were talking about this morning. I think the best time to buy maxi is when Hex moves up very quickly. The premium is going to be squished, and I think that is when you're going to find the most discounted price of maxi to purchase. Personally, we should do rapid fire at the end.
All right, rapid fire. No, GRC, you shouldn't just make blind moves. Oh, why not? Why? Tell me why. Tell me which blind moves I've made. And then we'll talk about DOGECHAIN in a year, and I bet you it's done 800x, just like Binance that everyone ignored. Everyone ignored Binance. They told you it was a scam. If you put your money into Binance when it came out, you'd be richer than you could ever imagine.
Latin America crypto, emotional stability is a must for crypto founders, Sam. I agree completely. Imagine a founder that is distracted by materials things that they never actually produce a product that they promised. Yes. Also, and imagine somebody who is also not emotionally fit and can't even answer simple questions about the regulation that they espouse to support, right? We have both spectrums of this, right? On the one hand.
Oh, great point, Sam. Emotional fitness on the Libby noob end is, I always think about it as like the guy that like runs around like trying to F chicks and punch people in the face, like, but because those are the guys that I kind of see around and like have been around. But in the nerd world or whatever, computer stuff,
and then you have on the other side.
That's like you don't eat, you don't sleep good, you don't drink water. Like I know a bunch of jocks that run through girls and are pretty aggressive and evil, but man, they suck down 1.5 gallons of water a day, from a jug. So, because they're aware, of that, whatever that is. But I mean, we've seen it, and I'm not talking negatively about Producer Bullish at all, but that he's from the field of a little bit different than me and Sam. And these guys have totally different health concerns and problems. And like me and Sam have our own health concerns and problems, blood pressure, like stuff like this. Like we always, we want to keep it chill, but other people really need to eat and maybe get some of that fatty food in there. Maybe like a trip to a fast food restaurant for some people. And I know it's not good nutrition, but really they don't eat. It's like sometimes I'm like, guys, you're forgetting to eat for years. And then they get so skinny, and then they forget what it's like to even have like 3 or 4 nutritious meals, or maybe 2, like where you're really having steak, beef, veggies, liver, stuff like this, like once or twice a week, depending on who you are.
And the really poor diets, like, stop the absorption of nutrients, and you don't realize that all these other issues are coming from poor nutrient absorption. And then you're like, what is going on? Why do I have all these other issues? And the poor diet leads to poor absorption of nutrients through things like anti-nutrients, or just the poison that most people actually consume. And they wonder why they have all these other health issues, because they can't actually absorb nutrients. They're extremely nutrient deficient, right? And you're like, how come my crypto balance isn't growing? Because you're not adding to it. And there was a study done at Vanguard, one of the largest asset management companies in the world, and they asked and tried to determine what was the biggest factor in determining if somebody had like over $1 million at retirement. You know what the biggest factor was? Was it what they invested in? No. Was it like the diversification strategy that they took? No. It was whether they fucking committed to it and contributed. That was it, right? You wonder why you're not like growing in your relationships, or like your business, or your finances, or whatever. It's because you got to commit to actually making progress in that area to move forward.
And it's hard, man. It takes everything. And everything's not that much, I try to tell people that all the time. I'm like, giving your everything to something ain't that much. That's the minimum. Hey, like spending 8 hours, 10 hours a day looking at it, that's the minimum. Like that's the bare bones minimum. And like everything you do in between that, that's what changes like the dynamic. Like, right? Like I could prop this show up, tell everyone I have $1 billion and I may have bought Hex this. I'm sure I could have spun it 1,000,000 different ways and no one really knows me. So it's like, whatever. But I didn't. I decided to be 100% honest the entire time about how much money I had and where I was. And sometimes it wasn't easy. Sometimes I didn't know if I was going to have enough money. There was a couple months there where the guys are like, are you good? Like, are you going to be all right? Like, and I was just like, yeah, I guess. Like, I don't know. I was like, I ain't going to die. What, you make 50K on Zen? No, you actually couldn't have done that because you have to mint it and you can't pay money. And that's why we talked about it, told everyone how to do it very cheaply. It's kind of like Bitcoin, when you were clicking on Bitcoin and then it wasn't worth anything. And then in the future, it was worth something. Yes, that's kind of like that. No, but on stuff, everything, ETH W, ETH F, BNBP, anything that I've played with that I really like so far, I've just made extreme gains. But it's not that much stuff, frankly. It's like BNBP, Hedron, Icosa, and I just minted Zen, $200 of Zen. I don't have any Zen except for on EW. So don't just remember, like, if you have $1,000 in 1,000 things, what are the chances that one of those things does the 100x rather than having all your money in one thing that is like centralized-ish? It's like, that's sketch. I mean, that's real sketch. I don't need money. So why am I going to put my money in a position where it can be all, why would I go all in? Like, I don't want to go all in. I don't like going all in. I like having a house. I like having other investments. I like having cash. I like having stuff in my bank account. I like having cryptos on different chains. That is what makes you feel comfortable to me. But anyway, guys.
Want to take us out of here with some
DeFi proof, guys. Hey, I'm going to be posting some pretty elite tweets as I'm studying today about like how to get through DOGECHAIN, how to do stuff like this. So I might pop 2 or 3 tweets in there once I figure out what I'm doing on some of the stuff. And look out, guys, because we're coming in. Hey!
You already know what time it is.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phones.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
Ready to take notes.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phones.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
Ready to take notes.
Smoking a blunt on my way to the gym. 11 a.m. and I'm already tuned in. Got me some hacks and I'm making a stake. Got me some hedge on, I'm making it rain. Pay me some maxi and that's just in case. GymRatCrypto sent me to show you the way.
DeFi proof.
Crypto in the morning.